Hello everyone, welcome to Civic History. I'm sorry it's been such a delay. I got busy with work again. I apologize. I would like to say before getting into the video, thank you to all the new subscribers and all the new viewers. Nearly 1,200 views at the time of uploading this on the McKinley video. I should probably do some more stuff on him. Seems to be the popular guy. But anyways, welcome to Civic History. This is the video on the Springfield Rifle. Let's get into it. I don't like that I just used a YouTuber word there, but anyways, if you're familiar with the Springfield Rifle, your first introduction of it probably came from either your grandfather, great grandfather, or your dad telling World War II or Vietnam or Korea stories. Or it could have been in Call of Duty, Nazi Zombies, where it did the damage equivalent of hitting someone in the face with a feather pillow. Yet in the actual campaign, it was quite powerful. Or perhaps your introduction to it was Sniper Elite with Mr. Karl Fahrenbauer from the thumbnail. So before we introduced the Springfield, or created the Springfield, I should say, our main service rifle for our armed forces was the model 1895 Lee, which I don't have a picture of, and the 1885 Remington Lee rifle used by the United States Marine Corps. It fired the Remington Lee, which I have a picture of because I have a, how do I put this? I have a plot to these videos. Fires a 4570 government round, which is that one right there. It was used famously, as you can see in this painting, during the siege of Beijing during the Boxer Rebellion, which I have a video on. I will link it in the description. But the need to advance our rifles came during the Spanish-American War, which I also have a video on, which I will link in the end of the video. The Spanish used a Mauser rifle, which is the one up here, commonly known as the Spanish Mauser. We were using an American version of a very hard to pronounce Swedish rifle called a Krag Jorgensen. That's it right there. They're known as the Springfield Krag, which used a quite outdated hammer firing system. During the Battle of San Juan Hill with Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders, our armed forces realized, specifically our Marines and regular Army troops, realized that our rifle could not fire as fast, reload a new cartridge as fast as the Spanish Mauser. So after the war, we took a couple to Springfield Armory to build a new battle rifle. At Springfield Armory, they realized that the Spanish rifle was superior to the American rifle, that ours was outdated, and that they needed to build a new one. So they took the firing mechanism from a Spanish Mauser, as well as some other stuff they borrowed from a Gewehr 98, which you can see right there, and created the Springfield 1903 prototype. It was very similar to the Spanish Mauser, so they ended up having to pay patent rights to Mauser. Though during the First World War, we seized the patent. Then after the war, the patent was released, Mauser sued again, and the US government and Springfield ended up having to pay $2,500 worth of fines for patent infringement. During its development, Mr. Teddy Roosevelt, the president at the time, did not like the bayonet that was originally going to be fitted to it. So he wrote to the Secretary of War, Eli Root, I must say that I think that ramrod bayonet is about as poor an invention as I ever saw. As you observed, it broke shortly as soon as it was hit with even moderate violence. It would have no morale effect and mighty little physical effect. So they replaced the bayonet with a new bayonet called an M1905. That's it right there. Above the bayonet that was fixed to the M1917 trench gun. Right there. Which I should do a video on that too for doing the weapons of COD. I could make that a series if you guys want. Say that in the description if you want me to do a series on the weapons from Call of Duty. The other thing was during this time, they realized that the Springfield's 30-03 round, which is this one up here, could not fire as far and as accurately as a 30-06 round. So they sent the rifle back to be remade so that it would fire a 30-06, thus creating the famous 30-06 Springfield, which you can buy at any sporting goods store, at least in most states. I don't know how the current ammunition regulations are. They also during this time a lot of nations were also discovering that pointed ammunition was more accurate and better firing than rounded ammunition. The Springfield's first test in combat was in the American intervention in the Mexican Revolution when we were chasing after Pancho Villa for his raids against Americans living on the Mexican-Texas border. Uh, served quite well. Then World War I broke out, and in 1917, after the Zimmermann telegram, we were off to war. And here's some U.S. Marines in northern France, I don't know what battle it is, using their Springfields. Some little wartime developments would be the periscope Springfield, so you could fire it from your trench without having to peek up over, and the Pedersen device, which allowed the Springfield to fire a 30 caliber pistol round semi-automatically. Why? No idea, but reasons. Uh, at first, during the First World War, though, Springfield was getting some poor reputations because people were using the wrong ammunition. They were using 7.92 times by 57 millimeter Mauser rounds, which would work but could jam or explode. So use the right ammunition and the gun will work fine. During its interwar use, it was used in the Quetta War, which was a conflict between, um, oh god, I have it written down here. There it is. Panama and Costa Rica. It was also used in a shootout in Kansas City known as the Kansas City Massacre, where afterwards the FBI confiscated National Rifle Association models, some National Rifle Association models of the M1903 Springfield, and it was used by Cuba's armed forces during the Batista reign, and then later in the Revolutionary Armed Forces of today's Cuba's army. In combat again in World War service, it was listed as the main battle rifle of the U.S. Marine Corps up until 1943. I believe this is a picture from Guadalcanal, and I believe that might be a Springfield. I think that one could be one too. The Marines, as you know from the TV show Pacific, were very upset that they were always getting U.S. Army surplus as their main weaponry. That TV show has a great line about the guy breaking over the crate of Springfields and going, "We're using the same guns that our daddies did." They discovered it also had a great stint as a sniper rifle during the Second World War and later in Vietnam and Korea, because it's a very accurate rifle. As I said, it served in Korea. This is it being given as, I believe, just standard equipment to Korean Army soldiers. It was also given to the Viet Minh and South Vietnamese forces during World War II. There are four basic models: the 1903, M1903A3, M1903 Scant Stock, which has a slightly different rifle stock, and the A4, which is a more sniper variant with a Type C stock, which gives it greater control for sniping. Its finally was retired during the Vietnam War. Here's one being used during Vietnam as a sniper rifle until it was replaced by Mike Ehrmantraut here with his M40. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thank you for subscribing. Please like, comment, share with a friend. Bye for now, and I hope to see you all again soon.